Hello and welcome to PSF1 highlights, and you can see what a way to start this race. This formation up going, of course, way too slow again in this league, and it's not the first time this has happened. It's just annoying. But yeah, Dougie obviously getting frustrated with it going very slow. You see him in the background sort of ranting over it. But yeah, so we've been reset, so was Dougie, and formation up does nothing for the race. It's obviously just an added feature to make it obviously more realistic and more immerse in the game. But yeah, some people just taking it way too seriously and going way too slow. I mean, you can still see on the minimap people still taking their time. Excuse me. And finally, we see Sean Polesale reach the grid, and then you've got the likes of Lego just reaching him now. So again, I don't see the point in formation that being this slow. If anything, turn it off. There's no point. So yeah, we're going to let everyone line up to the grid. And as you can see, we've got P4 in qualifying. So again, on the soft tyres, which is also very good. I think I set an 8.8. So definitely a good lap from us. It definitely could have been within a shout of pole if I had fitted the supers. But nonetheless, we're going to go to 5 red lights, and away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. You see, getting a decent start. But my aim here was to try and maybe keep full place and not let Dougie pass. So we go deep into turn 1, just to maybe cut off Dougie and some other guys behind. But we managed to keep them lot behind, coming through the centre S. And yeah, all in all, good start. Obviously Max and everyone ahead, obviously on the supers, so they're going to be quicker than me initially. But towards the end of the race, I'm going to be, well, not the end of the race, but at the end of the first stint, I am going to be a lot quicker than them. So I should be able to, in theory, catch them and overtake them and do an easy one stop, which is what I was aiming for. But the setup I was using for this race, it was very high in tyre wear. You'll see later on in the race, you picking up a first warning there. That's never good at a track like Brazil, because there are some easy warnings that you can get in this race. So yeah, just not best place to pick up penalties as early as that. But you can see coming through now the swooping left hander, you can see I'm not really doing anything different. I'm turning, but it's just not enough, and I get another warning. So 2 warnings in the first lap. Not a good start for me, but managing to keep P4, which is the most important thing. I was actually quite shocked that Dougie and a few other guys didn't try and overtake me. Obviously being on the slower tyre at this point, I just thought that I was going to lose more and more time. But ended lap 1, Lego still keeping the lead, so he's done a fantastic job keeping the lead from Sean. But you see Max and Sean getting side by side. And we're actually going to skip ahead now to a part of the race. I do believe it's not far ahead now, so the next part of the race is basically what, not lost me loads of time, but just the game being absolute terrible. You can see here Max and Sean going side by side, but you can see here Max going underneath Sean, and Sean, from what I'd gathered, they were ghosting through each other. So Sean was ghosting through Max, and Max was ghosting through Sean. At this point, I didn't want to go for a move on one of them, and then because they think they can go through everyone, they're just gonna hit me and then spin me. So at this point, I just wanted to stay back, obviously not losing enough time to Dougie ahead. Behind, sorry. So we see Max still up on top of Sean. It's just something you don't see on F1 games, and at this point I just wanted to stay behind them but not lose too much time. And you can see now coming to lap 14 now, as Lego is still out on super softs, and you can see my softs are absolutely battered, but 74%. Now keep that number in mind, because my PSGL highlights are coming out tomorrow, so you'll see what happened in my PSGL race. It's not good, but you can see coming through the swooping left hander, my back end just steps out, and away I go in for a spin. And you can tell by my reaction, it's unexpected. That's never happened to me at Brazil. So I'll quickly try and frantically get the car back on track, because obviously the guys behind, you've got Penny, I think, in full for mediums. I don't think he's pitted yet, so that advantage I had over the guys I had pitted already, I've now lost that. So of course I'm going to pit this lap, and so does Lego and Dougie, which is obviously fair enough. Seeing me spin, I was basically Lego's only threat this race. Obviously Sean pitted a lot earlier, and he's going for an aggressive 2-stop. But we're going to fast forward the pit stop, and we're actually going to come out just behind Smertens in 10th. So we've got a lot of places to make up. We've got Juan in 8th, and if I know Juan, he's going to be a tough customer to pass, because in previous races he's proved he can be very, very good in defending. So I already knew I had my work cut out for me this race. But you can see moving on to lap 20 now, I'm trying to catch one, but this is my fastest lap of the race, so we're going to take you through a lap of Brazil. I do apologise, I'm not really too keen on the corner names, but coming through the centre S's now, absolutely nailing it that lap. I've been doing that all race so far, picking up a few warnings, but it's expected and no one's perfect. Coming to the end of the first sector now, we're actually down on our time, so believe the lap I set was last lap, so not exactly great for sector, but still quite consistent with the time. And you can see now coming through sector 2, I think the best bit of this track, you know, if you nail this, you're gaining so much time in the car. You can see the guys ahead of me, all 3 cars there, starting to come into shot. Coming through sector 2 now, wanting to not clip the curb, but stay sort of right next to the curb, getting a good exit. Coming into the end of the second sector, shift down to second, upshift early to third, make sure the rear doesn't step out and burn up the rears. Coming through the sweeping of thunder, which of course I had my little incident earlier, up by just over a tenth as we come into the last corner. And you don't really want to catch too much curb. Obviously I caught a lot of curb, but I managed to keep the car. Some circumstances I've seen people spin and lose the rear, so I was actually quite lucky there. I'm just going to come across the line and set an 11.3 on the medium tyres. It's fantastic race pace from us, and you can see just how quickly I'm catching one. And we are now going to skip ahead to where I do make the move on one. Coming over the last corner, see losing the back end there, so again taking too much curb and it's costing me a good run on one. And you know, at this point I just knew he was going to hold me up, because obviously Lego being his teammate in first place, he was obviously going to make me lose a lot of time, but luckily he just moves out of the way for us. And yeah, not really much else to say. He let me pass quite easily. I was actually quite shocked. I thought he was going to put up a really tough fight, which he normally does with me, and of course everyone else. So yeah, quite shocked to see that. I think he pitted quite early as well, so he's obviously looking after his tyres and making sure that he can get to the end as well as me. Obviously I know I can from this point. My tyre life on the medium is actually quite good, but I'm now going to skip ahead to energy, and you can see that just before I skipped the video, he actually lagged, so I was initially already quite anxious about getting to the right behind energy. So of course I want to make the move as quickly as I can, but he's going to be a bit of a tougher customer than Juan was, so we're going to come down and start finish straight. DRS not really able to get close enough, so we're going to do it under braking. Coming through the St. S's again, absolutely nailing it again. You can see just getting a, I'd say, perfect amount of curb on exit. You can see the run we get on energy. He I don't think he was expecting me to get that run, and we do make the move down into turn 4. A little bit of a step out of the back end, but I think that helped me keep the position from him, because he would have still been around my outside. But now we're going to skip ahead to, quite honestly, the best battle I had this race, and it is with Dougie. After the rest, I did congratulate him, because he put up such a good fight, and he's obviously always clean. You see, faking to the inside, we go for a dive bomb, obviously controlled. I didn't want to just chuck it down the inside, force Dougie wide and get past that way. I wanted to get past cleanly. Didn't really want to mess his race up, because he's having fantastic form this season already. So he's having just a perfect start to his season. You know, if he can hold on to the podium, he'll be fine. But you see, coming to turn 4 now, defends the inside perfectly. I'm not just going to stay on board with this battle, because you can see I'm always gaining on Dougie. I've tried to go around the outside, but no, haven't got a grip at this point. And you can see Sean there on supers, he had got past Juan, but he spun Juan, and I do believe that resulted in Sean getting a penalty after the race. You'll see how important that is afterwards, but you can see right behind Dougie. So at this point I just wanted to get past him as quickly as I could, and maybe put a car between myself and Sean, because obviously 3 laps left. Sean's got to do a lot of work to then pass Dougie and then me. But you can see, coming to the last corner, I get a perfect exit. I think one of my best exits all racing. It comes at the end of the race. All right for fuel, not too bad, but we can afford to go rich and make the move on Dougie. We go around his outside, he defends the inside, of course, what mostly everyone does. And we're going to go into turn 1. I know Dougie's going to brake later than me, so I let him go down the inside. We swoop back round his outside, give him space, and that is the move for P2. Definitely the best move of the race. But you can see Sean behind. He isn't having none of it, and he's looking to get past Dougie just as quickly as he got past the guys behind. So at end of sector 1, see Sean and Dougie going side by side, but again Dougie defending perfectly from Sean. But unfortunately for me, Sean does get past Dougie, and he is going to be on the back of me. And you can see I make a mistake, so coming out to center S's, I initially get a better run, but obviously with DRS I have to defend the inside. And going into turn 4 now, I'll just sort of go wide on exit, and that allows Sean the place to go through. So yeah, unfortunate for me, but yeah, I mean the setup I'm using was very high in tyre wear, and you'll see in my PSGL highlights that I did change setup and tyre life was a lot better. So if I was able to do that in here, then maybe could have pushed for the win. Obviously if I didn't spin, I could have maybe challenged Lego. I mean, personally I think I was Lego's closest challenge He's obviously found incredible form after winning the title last season. So yeah, congrats to him for winning the race. And you can see that Doug actually got us on penalties, but Sean did pick up a 10-second penalty for what he did to Juan, and that did promote me up into third place. So I did get a podium after all in this race. So I'm very happy with that after what happened early on in the race. So yeah, I mean, good result. And yeah, it's been PSF1 Brazil. The next race you'll be seeing is PSGL. Now that video was very interesting. So yeah, I might add a screenshot to a PSGL video of what happened to my tyre wear, because it's just obscene. I've never had it happen to me. So yeah, quite disappointed with PSGL, but nonetheless I'm going to release it tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and my continuous uploads this week, having a bit of a schedule was helping me a lot. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.